Philippians 2 verse 3 and 4. Do nothing from selfishness or empty conceit, but with humility consider one another as more important than yourselves. Do not merely look out for your own personal interests, but also for the interests of others. These two verses are among the most challenging commands in the entire Bible because they confront one of humanity's greatest problems, selfishness. The world tells us to put ourselves first, to chase success at any cost, to gain more money, more power, more influence, and more attention. Society often praises those who climb over others to reach the top. God calls his people to live in the exact opposite way. Paul begins with the words, "Do nothing from selfishness or empty conceit." Selfishness is living as though the world revolves around us. It is making decisions based only on what benefits us, regardless of how those decisions affect others. Empty conceit is pride without substance, a desire to appear important, superior, or successful simply to receive admiration from others. Today, we see selfishness everywhere. Some people pursue wealth while ignoring those who struggle. Others seek promotions without caring whom they hurt along the way. Businesses sometimes place profits above people. Leaders may protect their own position instead of serving those they lead. Even within families, friendships, and churches, people can become so focused on their own comfort, opinions, and desires that they fail to notice the needs of those around them. Greed is one of selfishness's closest companions. A greedy heart is never satisfied. It always wants more. More money, more possessions, more recognition, more control. Scripture never teaches that having possessions is sinful, but it repeatedly warns that allowing possessions to have our hearts is dangerous. Greed slowly replaces compassion. Instead of asking, "How can I help?" the greedy heart asks, "What's in it for me?" Paul then gives God's solution. With humility, consider one another as more important than yourselves. This does not mean believing we have no value. Every person is created in the image of God and has worth. Rather, it means choosing to value the well-being of others instead of constantly demanding our own way. Humility asks, "How can I serve?" Pride asks, "How can I be served?" Jesus Christ perfectly demonstrated this attitude. Though he is Lord of all, he humbled himself, served others, washed his disciples' feet, healed the sick, comforted the brokenhearted, and ultimately gave his own life on the cross for sinners. The one who deserved everything willingly sacrificed everything. That is the model Paul points believers toward throughout this chapter. Verse 4 continues, "Do not merely look out for your own personal interests, but also for the interests of others." Notice that Paul does not say we should ignore our own responsibilities. Instead, he says we should not stop there. God calls us to open our eyes to the people around us. Is there someone who needs encouragement? Someone who is lonely? Someone struggling financially? Someone carrying emotional pain? A follower of Christ learns to notice needs instead of walking past them. In today's culture, where social media often encourages self-promotion and success is measured by followers, wealth, or status, these verses are a powerful reminder that God's kingdom operates differently. Greatness is measured by love. Success is measured by faithfulness. Riches are measured by generosity. Influence is measured by service. A selfish person asks, "How can others benefit me?" A follower of Christ asks, "How can I glorify God by loving others?" That single difference changes marriages, families, workplaces, churches, and entire communities. Every day we face a choice. We can live for ourselves, accumulating things that eventually fade away, or we can follow Christ by living with humility, generosity, compassion, and genuine concern for others. Selfishness builds walls between people. Love builds bridges. Greed leaves hearts empty. Christ fills hearts that willingly give themselves away in service to Him and to others. May we ask God daily to replace selfish ambition with humble hearts, to exchange greed for generosity, and to help us reflect the servant-hearted love of Jesus in everything we do.